Oh my.
I think we should actually go ahead and just...
Now we start the show. Get in here. We got to start the show. We got to start the show. Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to the Funky Panther. Coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. We have got a hell of a show for you today. Here on episode 139. Kids?
I know how I didn't bring my computer. Let's get the other sounds on there.
So we have got a special guest. We've got Trevor? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You gotta
I'm Ron Burgundy.
it's a
influx
question.
on that end, you know?
Right, Trevor? We have got Trevor in the building, and we are live from Down and Out here in Fort Worth, Texas. One of our, it is our favorite bar here in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
They've got
It's
the
a pretty
Funky
good bar.
Panther Shandy. We're drinking those through and through. We've got more coming, apparently. Oh, we love you so much. Thank you, Tamiflu.
Don't put a drink in my hand because I'm going to drink it. Don't put a drink.
Thank you. Passing these around. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get into it. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier,
I'm Tim.
and we are
the Funky Panther!
Yeah, we got some help coming in from the audience, which is great. I love it.
Love to hear it. We are live. We've got people here watching, listening. Some that aren't. I don't care. We're having a great
We're
time.
forcing people to listen. It's fine.
live and direct from the Down and Out in Fort Worth, Texas.
Just want to start right quick and say thank you, Eric, for having us over at Down and Out. Thank you for having Funky Panther
Dude.
ready and available throughout the entire
he
episode.
He pulled through.
Yeah, he did.
He always does, man. He always does.
I hit him up on why was it so what? Because we were like, we need to get this show started. We had to cancel a show last week because of the AC system at the.
We
at
didn't
the home
cancel.
studio.
We just had a hard stop after 30 minutes.
Well, okay, we had a hard stop after 30 minutes, and then we were just like, "I'm sorry, we can't do it." We were supposed to have XP Valentine on too, and we
Yeah.
had to cancel that one just because.
Cheers up, gents.
Bottles up, boys.
It was going to be miserable sitting in the studio.
Just going and getting this equipment was kind of miserable, and we were there all like 15 minutes, right? So
Tops,
it's
yeah.
better here. We got drinks, we got our friends, we got Trevor.
We got booze and the boys. What else do we need?
That's right, baby.
Boozing the boys.
Booze, boys, and balls.
I was hoping you were going to do something else.
Is that your intro to the ball bag?
Yep.
Booze, boys, and balls.
Boys and
Booze,
balls.
boys, and balls.
That's not a bad intro, y'all. Should make that
you
again.
can't.
Ah, man. Those are at least 3 of my 4 favorite things.
All right, Trevor. So
Yes, sir.
this is all about you, man.
Oh.
We are so excited to have you here on the show.
Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here.
Really? Is it though?
Yeah. I enjoy the chance to get to talk into a microphone. What can I say?
So far, you've been hanging out with us for like 30 minutes.
Yes,
right?
sir.
We change up our regular scheduling program by doing our normal banter 30 minutes in, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, you're just catching this part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you can go and watch us on YouTube to catch that entire first bit. It was a lot of fun. So funny. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I was
It
like,
was so good.
I could not stop laughing the entire time. Y'all
twirled
gotta
a bit.
listen to it. Yeah.
Bill Murray showed up and he talked for a little bit.
It was
great.
insane.
And we're not liars. So the 30 minutes you spent with us so far, how much better are we than the Forever Reckless podcast that you were on just recently?
I could never talk bad about the wonderful women at Forever Reckless. I appreciate it though.
Well done, Trevor. That's why you're the man.
I wasn't looking, but I believe that Jordan over here had a knife out.
Yeah, she did.
And was
and
like,
$100 bill.
You better say it.
Hey, bills are due, man. What do you expect me to say? I'm just kidding.
No, we love that podcast.
Thank you guys for having me on earlier and here as well.
We've been huge fans of the Forever Reckless podcast for a while now. So when we heard that you were on there, we're like, yeah, we got to have Trevor too.
We gotta step it up.
Yeah, we just got to have Trevor
Yeah,
too.
man.
for
Great
sure.
girls and even worse friends. No. Great girls and
Damn.
great friends. They're
Damn.
great people. They are.
All right, so let's just start this off. Who is Trevor?
He was formerly known as Trevor Douglas.
Okay.
But then Trevor Douglas, it was time for the emotional baggage to go away. I was changing my music. I was changing myself. I hit 25 about when like your brain starts to fully develop. I was reaching that gap and I was like, who the hell is Trevor Douglas? And my music was changing. My sound was changing. I wanted to move away from my more kiddie idol stuff, and I thought the best way to do that was to brutally kill Trevor Douglas and bury him in Palm Desert. And from that, Trevor was born.
So you're a murderer.
I unapologetically.
Okay.
I'm a murderer.
I'm here for it. So is
Yeah.
it Trevor? Like,
You can say Trevor, you know what I mean, but it is a question.
I love the question though.
See, here's the gag. There's a couple things about that with the question mark. Is one, I think it was good for all my new music that I was writing was a lot more introspective. I kind of got over writing really sad love songs. I've been pretty emotionally stable for a while now.
Good for you.
That's what therapy will do for you.
Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. This is all my boys should go to therapy.
Look out for watch your mentals.
Changes
Yeah.
your writing style completely, huh?
And I was like, myself's a lot more introspective. I think I should add a question mark to the end of it. And I was thinking about this, talking to a lot of people about, like, should I change my name, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I asked my family, my friends, my business partners that I've worked with. And I added the question mark also because I remembered Fun. I don't know if you remember the band.
Oh,
Fun.
I hated Fun. I hated them.
Yeah.
I
didn't
liked,
like 'em?
I liked Fun a
fucking
lot.
hated Fun.
Really?
Yeah, they were just so annoying.
Sounds
No,
like
I
you just like
loved 'em.
actually hate having a good time.
Yeah,
do.
exactly. They're literally fun.
Fun?
What is wrong with you?
I work all the time. I never have fun.
Well, that's what they're for. To help you.
Yeah,
Have fun.
you put them on, you can't help but have fun.
Yeah. Well, they added the period to their name because like whenever they'd search up fun, like you would just get like porn, they said. So they added the period to fun. And I was like, you know what? I want to really differentiate Trevor.
Yeah.
So if people look me up, there's a question mark. And there was just a lot of a lot of nuance to it, but
Love it. So you said something about Idol. What Idol?
the American one.
Oh, what?
Ooh, a segue.
I had no idea you were on American Idol.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so walk us through that. How was it being on American Idol?
And what does Jennifer Lopez smell like?
That's the one everybody's always the most intrigued about, is Jennifer Lopez. So I was a part of like this scholarship that I had to go to a seminar class type week in Los Angeles.
Okay.
That I probably couldn't have afforded had I not had the scholarship. And my mom was as kind and supportive as she is. She drove me out to L.A. to go to this class, and they had like a week of like people coming in to talk to us. We worked on dancing and singing and acting because I had to be a triple threat.
Okay.
And,
Oh, wow, okay.
Look at you.
And now I do one of those.
Just dancing. No.
I'm just an erotic dancer. Wait, what?
Just hardcore pornography.
And one of the days I was looking for acting management at the time out in Los Angeles, and I had a meeting that day at the same time that an American Idol casting director was coming in, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I'll just go to the meeting for a manager.
Yeah.
And then my teacher at the time was like, please, Trevor, like I will let you go first. Like I really believe in you. Will you just go first, and then you can go to your acting thing? I was like, all right, you know what? If you think it's what to do, I will do that. I sing one of my audition songs, which was "Icy Fire" by Ed Sheeran, and they were like, you're going to Nashville and auditioning.
Just immediately. That quick.
It was that, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like that soon, but if you want to tell the story more impressively, that fast. And then I was on my way to Nashville.
They loved me.
Horses racing. That's what everybody always like. Oh, you're from Texas? Do you ride horses?
You got to get there by midnight.
Only when I get my cowboy hat on,
Yeah.
which is always
only
on.
when I have the spurs on.
You're like, of course I don't, man. Now where are my damn menthols?
I'm trying to bring bolo ties back, and no one will let me.
Bro,
Oh,
dude, they're
bolos
already
are
a thing.
in.
Every time I want to wear mine, my buddies are like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I'm here for it.
Thank you for the support. I'm gonna wear it in honor of the Funky Panther podcast.
Do it.
Blake needs to wear a bolo, and there needs to be bolo buddies.
That's what I'm talking. Bolo Blake.
That's coming in. That's
Bolo
coming back.
Blake.
Like the Sunflower Man, we had him briefly on the show,
Yeah.
and he was talking about like how like or him and Franklin,
yeah.
They were talking about how like cowboy chic is kind of
Yeah.
is a deal.
Oh, that's like my new. That's my
it's here.
new genre of clothes, but it hits different when you're back in Texas
Yeah.
and I'm dressing a little Western. It's a little bit like.
Yeah, it's a little different.
What do you mean by that? Like which Texan, like which Western are you dressing? Where it's like it's different in other areas, but that is usually how I dress. So anyway, I headed to Nashville eventually, and yeah, when you do that and go through a director, you can skip cattle calls, so you don't have to do the grueling, difficult.
Okay, so that's what I thought you did was had to go through this.
Nope.
No.
Nah.
Straight up just
Like
like.
so you
hardly
didn't have to
anybody
wait in the
does.
line that you always see on TV and
Nope.
everything.
Yeah, most of them don't.
So you're just better than all of
Oh
them.
man, he is pulling the curtain back on this one.
No, even now I'll get like idol casting directors like or direct things for like those
Yeah.
singing like people DM me on Instagram like, hey, do you want to do XYZ? And I'm like, no, thank you. Once was enough. And so I did that. I auditioned for them, and they gave me my golden ticket. I went to Hollywood Week, and up to a certain level, I was very confident in my skill level because like I had been doing music most of my life.
Right.
So I was very confident of my skill level up to a certain point. But as it started like weeding down, I was like, oh shit. Like it's getting a little bit serious.
Right.
Like, things are for real. People are going home, and I was like, "Why am I still here?" all until we got into live voting, and I was one of the first people voted off.
Oh no!
That's sad.
America decided it's fine.
People don't know shit.
But you know,
Yeah.
you know what? America doesn't know a damn thing about music.
Actually, I think people are experts in two things, and that's cooking and music.
It's also called American Idol, so it is up to the people.
It
I
is up to the
suppose.
people. Yeah.
That's why you got to hire Russian bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
for sure.
But yeah, so that was my experience. It was overall a good time. I don't want to shit talk it. I would not have had the career I have at the moment. Anything could have happened, but like it gave me followers, it gave me numbers, it gave me something on the resume.
It makes such a cool story.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't walk and meet, 100 people that have been on American Idol, right?
I do in the music industry.
You do.
Sorry.
But
It's almost a rite of passage amongst. Sorry.
myself, Chad, Javier. It's not like we just throw a rock and there's someone who's been in. Maybe there are, but
I'm in LA half the time.
We
so that
throw
might be
so
why.
many rocks. Though.
okay, that explains it. In Texas, in Fort Worth, we just
In
don't
Fort
see
Worth.
that very often.
Fort Worth, Texas.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. That means a lot.
Who do we have? We had
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly
yeah, Kelly Clarkson.
Burleson.
That's it.
Leon
Burleson,
Bridges.
Texas. Leon, was he on American Idol?
Oh no,
No,
sorry.
I'm saying
talking
American
about
Idol.
Oh,
Kelly Clarkson.
okay.
That's it.
Leon
Kelly
Bridges is
Clarkson.
great though. I fucking love him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an amazing
fantastic.
guy. We also had that other guy who was on The Voice, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But it's not American Idol.
And Joey Green.
I don't-
was on The Voice.
I don't think The Voice helps out artists as much just because it's so focused on the judges.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, what were like maybe just a couple of your biggest takeaways? Because I'm sure that was a really good learning experience for you. Like being any kind of musician and being able to go through that kind of process. What are a couple takeaways that you took away from American Idol?
Definitely, like it's kind of a sink or swim in the music industry. It's either you learn to swim doing all these things or you sink. And a lot of the people that would sink were the people who couldn't keep up. And I do remember Hollywood Week where they would purposely like make your life difficult, make you tired, not get rest, so you could push you to the ends, mostly for good TV, but also as a test. And if I hadn't been in high school, like only sleeping like 5 hours a day anyway, right? Like, cause like, oh, I gotta hang out with my buddies, I gotta do school, I gotta practice, I
So
gotta
many
write
things to do.
songs. Yeah, it would be like 5 hours of sleep in high school. Now I'm like, how the hell did I do that?
Because you
Right.
were 16 whenever you did it.
I was
right?
16, almost 10
Holy
years ago
shit,
now.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
He had a baby face. Like
It was still on
compared to now.
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he looks like he's a grown ass man now.
I'm gonna go back and watch that now.
It's pretty silly.
It's been a long time since I watched American Idol. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna find that season. I'm gonna watch it.
So one was Sink or
Season
Swim.
14.
Season 14. Got it.
Yeah, sink or swim. Also, be prepared for your PR questions. Like if someone asks, "What do you think of Forever Reckless?" Things like that would happen. They'd be like, "Hey, what do you think of Jimmy John over there?" And I'd be like, "Oh, he's great. Love him. Great working with him. No, but like, it's okay. We're chill. Like, what do you really think?"
Oh
of
yeah,
him?"
the media is your enemy.
Yeah.
They want to get that dirt, right?
Absolutely.
We want to get that
Yeah,
dirt.
we're the media. You're talking about us, Tim. Like, what are you talking about?
Tell me how you really feel.
But it was just a, "Why are you guys putting these drinks in me? Come on."
Ignore Jordan. Just
it
drink
was
your drinks.
It was a really good time. I definitely think that it really, really taught me to be my own person because it was you really had to be yourself. And I know that's like the cheesiest thing, but it's like the most authentic way you can do art is to do it through the lens of you.
Yeah.
That makes sense because then it just sounds generic if you're trying to put on a fake persona.
People ask me what kind of music I listen to all the time, and it sounds so pretentious to me, but I'm like, I really enjoy honest music. I feel like there's a lot of music right now that is written to be trendy, and I see this overall in all arts, from the movies to the games. People are just writing things for the money.
True, 100%.
Or
The Flash.
or you're looking at like movies right now where people are trying to just like, oh, let's redo this movie that was
Yeah.
really popular because they don't have any original ideas.
And you can see when there's like love and care in something.
Yeah.
I can hear that in music. I can hear that in art. I can see it in visual art. And I think humans are very inherently, if we have one thing, we evolved to be able to look in someone's eyes and feel their emotion. Like it's the most important aspect of the herd community mentality. So I think the emotional aspect of being yourself within your art could not be overstated.
Do you think we should just be honest about the skeletons in our
Oh
closets?
my God! Yes, sir. We're having a remix of that come out this year. I haven't announced that
It's a
yet.
no
very,
shit?
it's a very good
Yeah.
song.
It's a
Great song.
Me and my buddy, who I did it with, Paul Flint, in
Yes.
Paris. I actually met. So craziest story. I haven't ever gotten the chance to really tell this story. I was in L.A. about that time. I was in L.A. at a Guitar Center. with my mom. She's in the bathroom, and I'm looking at the board they have at Guitar Center where people can put looking
Right.
for, and I'm like, I see two French electronic producers looking for a singer, and I'm like, I'm a singer.
Yeah, easy enough.
Can
Yeah.
I just ask, when you saw that, were you thinking Daft Punk? Like they're French.
Am I about to?
You guys should listen to their stuff. It's like influenced by that. It's sick.
Which,
Nice.
by the way, whenever because it sounded like a little bit. It wasn't one of your other tracks. I thought like Daft Punk was on the track.
It was probably one of theirs. So that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
I sounded rude, man. I'm sorry.
No, put him in his place, man. He deserves it.
Yes.
Yeah, shut up, Javier.
So I met up with them. I met up with one of them. I sent them my stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, let's meet up. We're in town for another week." I met up with one of them at the Starbucks in North Hollywood. Every time I go by,
I feel like every good story starts at Starbucks.
I don't go there anymore. Support the unions.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, now, but back then.
Back then, sorry. There goes my. You put a drink in me. I'll start talking about the train unions. Anyway, I went to Starbucks, met up with him, showed me his shit, and I was like, "This is so good." So we spent a year and a half or so writing an album and a bunch of songs over Facebook Messenger because they were in Paris, and then we all split the price of my ticket. I went out there, we recorded it, filmed one music video, and they're just bangers. And then I asked my buddy Paul Flint, who's a good friend of mine. He even, funny story, decided to come to Fort Worth. He was
What the hell?
not related to me. He was like, me and my girlfriend just love cowboys. We want to go to Texas. And so we came, went to the stock show, went to the stockyards. Yeah, funny as hell. Anyway, I asked him to do the solo for that, and he mastered it for me, mixed it, and did the solo. And he's doing a remix of it for this year.
Oh, I
that's
can't
awesome.
wait.
It's so good. He sent me a DM video of it, and I'm like, that's heat.
So let me ask you, how'd your last show go? I'm sorry we missed it.
Kind of hurts. I was hoping to see some Panthers there.
Yeah, man. Chad was out of town.
I was
I was at So What Festival that whole weekend, and then Javier, he's been slammed with knocking dents out at the shop that he works at.
We've had a lot of
So,
hail, and the boy's been working his ass off.
Yeah.
Hey, shit happens. I'm
a little hot, but
I do want to say, I know artists that are aggressive about getting people to their show,
Yeah.
and it's kind of it's gross. So you guys can make the next one, August 5th.
I was about to say, I heard you talking about that on the Forever
Right.
Reckless podcast,
Yeah.
and I already marked it down on my calendar. I'm going to be there.
Ask me for my link, and I will give it to you because I need those sales to come from me.
yeah, you got it,
Okay.
100%.
So I appreciate that.
Where's that show going to be at?
At 3 Links in Deep Ellum.
Oh, perfect.
Very cool.
Three Links is a pretty. I like that venue.
I'm excited.
There's a few venues in Deep Ellum that I'm 100% for now. I don't like going to Deep Ellum all that often,
Mm-hmm.
but it seems like that's the place to go to catch
Bro,
music.
it's always music.
Yeah.
Come on. It always has been the
It's
music
changed
spot.
since I was in high school. I went to high school at Booker T, so right next.
And it's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's changed since we were in high school.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My older brother, older sister are 35, 36.
Yeah.
So they were going
That's
down
us.
there.
That's us. Yeah,
Well,
100%.
Booker T, whenever we were in high school versus, because I have a friend that went to Booker
Uh-huh.
T, and it's completely different.
No, they added a whole building. Yeah.
100%. And my buddy's a band director, and he has a YouTube channel and makes deep dish pizzas.
What a
Really
man.
good. It's a good man. Sorry.
Yeah,
ADD.
so the show went well.
It went so good. It was one of my best shows I've played. I was very happy.
And we missed it. We missed
Well-
his best show
So far.
so far. The next one's going to be even better.
I finally got things down with my drummer, who's my brother-in-law. We finally got the whole show down. People sang "Better Off Alone," my new single.
Oh,
they
that's
were
awesome.
Yeah.
singing it.
It's a very catchy tune.
Thank
It
you.
is super fucking
100%
catchy.
written and recorded by yours truly.
I was putting stuff together for Instagram this morning for today, obviously, and it was stuck in my head all day. And it was only the 15-second clip, and I can just hear it now.
I was so proud of it. So I started writing that song, and then it was mid February, March. I started writing it, and I was like, I wasn't going to put any more songs on my project coming out in January, but I need to fast track this one and get it out by summer. This is a song of the summer.
Yeah, right. It is.
Yeah, and I was like, I got to get this done. So I fast tracked that so hard to get it up.
You've got that pop aspect to it, but it also has that indie, almost not quite the indie rock sound, but you get that indie mix into that poppy sound, which is what I really like. I'm not a huge pop fan, so whenever I was going into it with an open mind. I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel
We'll
about it, right?
see.
And so I started playing it, and then I listened to it 4 times in a row.
My man.
Because I was like, okay, this is really good, and it doesn't feel like your generic pop.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from what you were saying, being genuinely yourself, and putting yourself into your music versus just whatever's trendy.
Well, I tried really hard with these lyrics because I was just thinking about songs that last for a season are songs that are just like catchy.
Yeah.
Songs that last for a long time are songs that have like a catchy and then also have the words to back it up. So I
Right.
spent a long time on these words. I started writing it about I have friends that feel like they need to make their emotions productive because they're artists and they have to like sit in their negative emotions to suffer for the art. I've got to be broke. I got to sleep on couches. I need to suffer all the time so I can be an artist. But like you can enjoy life. You can think about those emotions, let them pass, and then write the song.
Yeah, you don't have to live in it.
No, you don't have to have an awful life to be,
Right.
and it's not sustainable. Like, you're going to burn yourself out. And so I started talking about that, and then I was like, well, you know what? That's kind of a product of capitalism. And, like, feeling like you are the product. Like, as an artist, you are the product.
Right.
And it's so important that, I have to make everything productive. I can't relax. If I play video games, I'm going to feel guilty about wasting time that I could have been grinding, hustling.
Sometimes you just need that mental stability and that refresher to be like, you know what? Actually, this would probably work. Like, you know, like you never know where you're going to get that inspiration or that like open-mindedness to like be able to write what you want to or what you feel. And do you
It's
write
really freeing.
all of your stuff?
I do write all my stuff. There's like one song with a group of those guys that I did that
Yeah.
they just asked me to sing on.
Nice.
That I didn't write, but and I did have a few adjustments, so I might have writing credits on it. But all of my own stuff are like I'm in the room. They're all either 100% written by me or I did it with a buddy.
Very cool.
So for other artists that might have trouble unwinding and like resetting, what do you suggest artists do? I mean, to get like that.
For starters, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people go to therapy. I'm a big advocate for. We're already aware of mental health. We've done enough mental health awareness. Now we need to go to therapy. For starters, but like, if you don't give yourself time to relax and be yourself and just exist, you're not going to make good art and you're going to burn yourself out.
But what do you do personally? Like, what kind of things do you like? Fun things you like doing?
100%. Really good question, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I got to tell you that. I do a couple things. I'll either spend time with loved ones and just live my life, because you're not going to write if you don't have life to write about.
True.
Or I really wind down playing games. Just video games. And I started streaming on Twitch, which I think is dangerous because that's like making my pastime productive.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I gotta stream. I can't play this game until I can get it on stream.
True.
It's a slippery slope, really.
Video games are very therapeutic for me. I've had quite a few games that have just really been like Dark Souls, obviously all Zelda games.
Yeah.
I will always recommend A Short Hike if anybody wants to like look
That's
that
my
up.
shit.
You've played it?
No. Oh, wait.
A Short Hike?
I thought you meant actually hiking. I was like, hell yeah, that's my thing.
No, it's a game called A Short Hike.
I'm
I love
sorry.
nature though. I grew up around the woods.
I'm sorry. I let you down.
It's okay, my man.
There's a game called Stray that I played on.
I wanna
PlayStation
finish
5.
it. I don't
yeah,
have a
me too.
PS5.
Me too. I need to finish it, but I love it because you're a cat.
Who doesn't want to be a cat?
Yeah, I know, right? You can do like all kinds of nimbly things,
I play Goat Simulator every once in a while.
10 out of 10.
It's great. It's a completely pointless game. Great to just unwind if you don't want to have to think about anything.
Yeah.
I think it's helpful for me to be able to consume video games as an art form, and like I don't create video games, right? So like I don't know anything about them. When I listen to music, it's hard for me to actually consume music because I listen through it through the lens of a musician.
Yeah.
Start like nitpicking. This mix seems off. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff, yeah.
Or like, why do they use this word? Yada yada yada. Like,
There's so
or I'm
many
just like,
better
how
words
can I
they
be
could have.
influenced by this? How can I
Yeah.
how can I take from this? And even with acting, I did a lot of acting growing up. So like, I even still look at that. It's hard to consume it through not the lens of an actor, but video games, I can just consume it. I know jack shit, and I refuse to learn anymore. It's amazing.
I usually like whenever I get on TikTok, I'll watch people play like you were saying, Goat Simulator. Like there's one where you're in a semi.
Oh, the truck simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Truck
my gosh,
Simulator.
yeah.
And also, I watch people on Facebook play Mortal Kombat, like the original.
Apparently
I
from the
love Smash
chat,
Brothers.
there's a mouse simulator as well. I don't know
let
what
me write
one's
that down.
about.
I got into playing basically a lawn care simulator. Look, I hate going out and mowing my own yard, but I'll sit there and there's some. It's like watching power washing videos, right?
Okay.
It's
That I
just one of those
understand.
things like you got these straight lines and you're making everything really manicured and really pretty, and it's just that kind of like.
Really, mowing the lawn isn't that bad of a thing to me.
No, it's
It
not.
is
When
in
you
the
get
heat,
older,
In the heat, it would be, yeah. But like versus my mom, like really
Yeah.
likes gardening, and she's getting up there, so I'm the gardener if I'm home. Versus like if I'm planting plants or planting like fruits and veggies or something, like I'd much rather be
I gotcha.
running the lawnmower.
Chad loves gardening. He loves planting
absolutely.
like different herbs and fruits.
I'm a plant
and
guy.
stuff.
And using them, like
Using-
I
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love my indoor plants and like seeing them. Like when my monstera has an extra leaf, I'm like, oh yes, thank
Baby.
you, I love this. But then I also have my like patio garden where I've got peppers growing and herbs and spices.
Let me-
I'm
let
really trying to grow herbs. I really
Love that
want a
shit.
mint leaf, like for my cocktails that I make.
Yeah.
I use mint all the time, and in my meals too. Like if I could have like rosemary, basil, mint, just that would make me so happy.
Let me tell you, I've got this thing, and I got it off like buy sell trade on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Usually it's like $200 on Amazon. It's like this big water reservoir thing with a light that turns on and off when it needs to each day, and it's got these like little cups, and you put one rosemary, one basil, one mint, one cilantro, one dill.
Oh, my
And
God.
like within a couple of weeks, you're just snipping as much as you can, and it's just like crazy growing.
That's
it is the best thing I've ever bought in my
heaven.
life.
You need
It
to
was so
send me
good.
what that is. Like
Hell yeah.
I will ask for that for my birthday.
So good, and I'm constantly having like honestly I have to dry the shit. Like it's growing so much, even though it's pretty small. I'm like I can't make enough things with this stuff, so I'm like drying it all out, and yeah, I love it.
Hey, Chad, I want to ask you something, though,
Yeah.
real quick. Did you say that you have a monster plant?
Oh gosh.
I got a monstera plant from
Monstera, okay.
our friend Christy. She gave me a monstera plant back in Thanksgiving of last year. It had 2 big leaves, beautiful plant, one of the most like healthy, beautiful monsteras I've seen. Because I've got another one, it's just kind of meh, and this one just had these ginormous leaves, and motherfucker has like 5 or 6 leaves. Every time I leave for vacation and come back, it's got another one. Like, hey,
What a
look what
homie.
I got.
That's
I love it.
sick.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about this single that's out. Like, we kind of touched on it a little bit.
Right.
But when did it drop?
It dropped in what month are we in right now?
We are in June.
God, I just go. When did it drop? That's a great question, boys. I would love to answer
Got
that
him.
one for you.
Got him.
Yeah,
It-
Ladies and gentlemen, we got
We
it.
got him.
It dropped in 2023.
American
When
Idol.
did my single drop, Blake? Do you remember what week it was? I wish I could tell you that. It was a couple months. It was like last month. I think it was
last
May.
month. Okay.
May, March.
And I want to just ask, like,
In a month?
how long did it take for you to, like, from conception of idea to finished product? Like, what's the time frame we're looking at?
It really depends. So some songs take longer. I think the reason it's hard for me to remember, like, oh, when did it come out? It's like I spend hours on it beforehand, right? I spend weeks, hours, days, months working on the tune that, like, when did it come out? I don't know. It was created well before the release date. So this one, yeah, I fast-tracked this one. Usually I try to plan my stuff out well in advance now.
Yeah.
My first release, I didn't do that, and I really regret not doing that. But, there are no mistakes. There's just knowledge. That's what I tell myself.
Hell yeah.
That's
exactly
a good way to see things.
I'm a lot happier that way. You should,
And do you have any upcoming projects or anything like that you want to plug?
yes. I have my full EP, which is going to come out on hopefully January 19th.
January
I'm getting
19th,
like a
okay.
whole release schedule and things ready for it. I'm going to be slowly releasing singles up to then. In October, because it's going to be Friday the 13th in
Yeah, yeah.
October. I'm planning on doing a Skeletons in Our Closet remix.
Nice.
Because, like, how could I not? That is such a perfect opportunity
Perfect.
to release that song.
I'm like sitting there thinking, like, okay, you got the date, you got the marketing because of the
It's
date. I mean, yeah, it's
perfect.
perfect.
The picture that you used for your single youth, what's up with that?
Oh, that's a baby me.
Yeah.
That's little me. I wrote that with my good buddy Sydney. She's incredible. I really wanted to make this new project a lot more collaborative. So almost all the songs on there were co-written or worked on with friends, or they're actually on the songs. So I have about 4 different features on this album that mean so much to me because they're all people that are so near and dear to my life. And I wanted all the single pictures to be either film photos or moments from my life. So, like, for Gone, it was a trip that I took to San Francisco. It was a film photo, and I just cropped out a very small corner of it and used that for Gone because it looked really pretty.
Yeah.
I'm going to have 2 other songs that are going to be really sad, and I have, like, 2 film photos that are going to be, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're all film photos that I took for the most part, or they're film photos from an old time. So, like, that was what Youth was. Because Youth is kind of about hating growing up and having to do taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could go back to simpler times sometimes.
Oh, God, I hate it. I feel like I'm cursed with knowledge sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like a sponge. I sit there and I'll read articles, and I have all this stuff. I input, right? And sometimes it's too much for my own.
What do I do with
good.
this information?
Right.
Why am I aware of everything going on in the world? Like it's overwhelming.
Great-
That's kind of what Better Off Alone is about.
Great for trivia, though.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that's why we keep Javier around. He's got like this
College Bowl.
unmatched like memory that I don't. You got to have him around for any kind of
I
trivia.
remember
He's the
pointless
man.
things, and
It's needed though. That is
sometimes.
very much needed.
yeah.
All right, so
Actually, I want to stop you right
Let's
there.
stop right
Because
here.
I just remembered a
Okay.
question
Yes.
that I forgot about asking.
all right, let's
Oh,
ask.
okay.
Okay, this is for you, Trevor. Obviously, this
Yes,
is
yes.
fun. Yes. So,
Oh, I didn't know.
have you met Javier before tonight?
Once actually. Javier, were you aware of this?
You know what? I was really freaked out whenever because I was I'm a paranoid guy. So like where I live, you have to know where I live, and nobody ever goes down that street. And so when you showed up at my door asking for Blake, and I was like, I don't know no Blake. Oh, I forgot. I was like, nah.
No, I was
Is Blake
headed-
here? I'm like, Blake?
I was headed to the Inner Gamer podcast, and Blake sent me like 3 different addresses, and I got them mixed up for this one, Forever Reckless, and for the Inner Gamer. And I am paranoid about showing up to the wrong house because people have been getting shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they show up to the wrong houses.
Absolutely.
So I was like, I'm in Texas. People really like their guns. So I was like, and I was texting Brett like, hey, Brett, that's probably why you're saying Blake. I was texting Brett like,
yeah.
hey, what's going
Thanks,
on?
boo-boo.
Like, I think I'm near your house. Can you come outside? I don't want to go to the wrong place. And then you knock on the door, and I'm like, I don't know who this man is. Uh-oh. It was one of them. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God, you guys don't give me this many drinks because I'm gonna drink them.
Yeah, so Javier had no idea, and I don't remember where we were. We were at a bar or something
was on a
like that.
Sunday.
Yeah, it was on a random day, and I was like, hey, would you bring up your Ring camera? And he's like, what? No, what? And I was like, just bring it up for this specific day, because Blake had told me about it.
Yeah,
And- And then he pulled it up, and I was like, that's our guest in a couple of weeks. He's like, wait, what? He was so confused.
So I was on the phone with my girlfriend, and I was like, somebody's at my door, and I
Thank
get on my
you.
Ring, and it's you, and I'm like,
Did you know who I was at the time?
No, I
Oh, that's
didn't.
even funnier.
Javier, he's been so busy, he didn't even know you were coming on the show.
No, I
So
didn't.
all
I
of
didn't.
that was new to him. Like, he
That's
had,
so
like
funny.
when I told him, he was like, wait, he's coming on the show?
That is so funny.
I was
Part of
like-
me was hoping that you wouldn't know and we'd tell you right now. Part of me was hoping you'd find out that was me.
you shouldn't have said anything because like I was like, somebody's at my door. I was like, it's some weird mustachioed man,
That's exactly me.
and I was like,
And it wasn't me this time.
she's like, is he still there? I was in the garage. I'm like, trying to peek, like, see if you're still there. I'm like, he's still outside.
My plan was, the reason I brought this up to Javier is I was actually going to get screenshots of the Ring camera and then bring it up in our normal studio. Obviously, that didn't happen
Yeah,
because we're out
unfortunately.
here at Down and Out. But like we were going to queue it up and bring it up and,
I'd love
and show.
to see it. See, I don't know if you noticed when I saw you today. I was like, pleasure. Everybody else said nice to meet you. I was like, oh, pleasure. I didn't want to say nice to meet you
Love it. I love to see it.
in case you didn't know. Yeah,
Sorry, dude.
it's all right.
I'm very.
Thanks for not shooting me.
I'm very cautious because well, this is how I am paranoid whenever I like go to. I blame the Forever Reckless girls because they had that around the time the story of that guy killing those people in their sleep. You know, the guy who like
oh
broke
yeah,
into
up
their,
in the college town.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So since then, I've been kind of like on like edge, like some motherfucker
Yeah, that
might
makes
break
sense.
in
Forever
here.
Reckless almost got me killed
I send
What?
him
I
fake
believe
news
it.
all the time to get him paranoid.
How'd
though.
they almost get you killed?
because they made him
Oh, because
scared.
of this?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But
Let's
I
just
wasn't
tie it
gonna
back
like
to their fault.
shoot you. I was like, you know,
I just might stab you a little
cautious.
bit.
This was
Just
like
a little stabby
a
stab.
week or two of the same week where that kid got shot, where he's picking up his other his 2 younger brothers. That's
Oh,
yeah.
that's sad.
First
Sorry
of
to
all,
bum it out.
Wow. All right. Well, that was episode 139.
All right.
Funky Panther. No.
So, as a musician, have you gone to a lot of festivals?
Actually, no, I don't have the stamina,
Me neither.
dude. I've been to a few. I wish I could remember the name. I went to one in Dallas when I was younger, but my girlfriend at the time mom was like working it, so I was able to like.
I bet she was working it. Hey-oh.
Oh my god.
No, my bad.
Only you, Chad.
So. That
All right.
totally took a screenshot
Hey,
of my
look,
brain.
I'm
I
gonna-
lost the train
I'm
of
gonna
thought.
ask
Look,
this
you got
up.
us, and so I had to get
No,
you.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
All right. So, You know, we talked about going. I went to the Soet Festival, and I
Yeah.
want to ask you a question. How do you feel about parents bringing their children to these big festivals like this?
I think it really depends. It's really
Okay.
a case by case basis.
Um,
I think it is their responsibility to put protection in their ears.
Let me ask you this next question then. How do you feel about the whole mindset of this kid's not going to slow me down? I can do whatever I want still, and they tag them along with them.
Oh, it really depends on the child, I think.
All right.
But like, wait, am I walking myself
No,
into
no,
a corner?
no,
Is there
no,
something
No, they
weird?
like getting drunk, shit faced, like being nuts.
Nope. I'm gonna drop a.
Okay.
What I think is kind of a bomb, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're out there, and we're at this show, and we're watching some pretty heavy, like I'm talking like metal, some deathcore stuff like that playing. And there's these two kids, and I'm guessing their ages. Like one of them was like 5, and one of them was maybe 7, and they're in the freaking pit. Just going, and there's a circle pit going on, so everybody's around, spinning around, slamming into each other, whatever. And he's got these like 2 kids just like going to town. And so the thing is that, like you get this like switch, right? So metal's for the kids, just like Wu-Tang is what we decided on. But the other side of it is that now you've got these people who are having to watch out for these kids,
Yeah, that's true.
and the parents just letting them do whatever they want. Now, we watched this and watched several instances of the same kid at the different stages that we went to. We finally ended up at this last stage, and we're watching this band play, and these kids are in there, and I watched one of them get yeeted by a spin kick.
Hell yeah.
Now the question is,
Hell
who's
yeah.
That's the
at fault,
parent.
right?
That's the parent's fault.
yeah.
But see, I will say actually, so my
Yeah.
very first concert was Spice Girls. The first concert
Did you also get yeeted by the spin kick?
the first concert that I remember was going to see Blink-182 touring with My Chemical Romance and Matt and Kim. No. Yeah. It was
My
that.
first concert was NSYNC.
Really? That's
Yeah.
sick as hell.
Mine was
but like,
Nickelback.
I was in the pit of this Blink-182 concert.
Okay, yeah.
I was in the pit with my brother or like sister or mom or somebody, like surrounded on me, like front row, like with their arms around me,
Right.
right
You're
up front.
protected.
Yeah, but you're protected, right?
Exactly.
How old were you?
Had to be like not even a teenager.
Was it in Texas or was
It was
at
at Jexa Energy Pavilion. I don't know what it is now.
Do you remember who was playing? You said Blink-182 and who?
Yeah, I think Blink-182, Matt and Kim, and My Chemical Romance.
Okay, so I wasn't at that one. I was at Blink-182, Green Day, and there's another band, Jimmy World. So
Jimmy, oh, that's good.
Jimmy Eat World?
Jimmy Eating World.
Eating all of the world.
Yeah, it was a knockoff Jimmy Eat World. Anyways, so yeah, we watched this kid get just completely yeeted. I mean, and it's not anybody's fault, right?
Well,
it's
fuck
not.
them.
It's the
I
parents'
put
fault,
it on
right?
the parents.
It's the parents' fault, yeah.
But I'll give it to him. That kid basically got up, went to his parent, and then went right back out there and was
Damn.
having the time of his life. So
Somebody needs to call the pediatrician because that kid sounds sick as fuck.
I know.
Well done.
But I
Well
also saw
done.
kids I saw kids with hearing protection. I saw kids out there without hearing protection.
Hearing protection is real. I even take hearing protection to
I do,
my
I
shows.
do. I do now. I used to. I was a glutton for punishment. I'd
It
be
used
right
to be
there.
like a badge of honor, but like no, I want to hear things.
You leave and you can't hear anything but that
Yeah.
rumble. Yeah, that was concert life, right? Now I've got these earplugs that I put in, and I would not go to another show without it.
Nah, every time. Even like my own shows beforehand, watching other artists, I got my earplugs in. This is literally my career. My ability
right.
to listen to and hear things and understand sounds is my
important.
job. Yeah, I take my job very seriously.
As you should, because you're wonderful at it.
Well, maybe someday you'll see a show and you will know.
Yeah.
Another sick burn. He's full of them
That was a
tonight.
sick burn. All
Need
right.
some ointment for that burn, buddy?
All right.
Tim, who's the best performer? Let me just ask you. Like, we didn't ask you that. Who's your best? Who put on the best show this past weekend?
So I really liked. We watched this band called Greyhaven, and I thought they were pretty badass.
Okay.
They did a good job. We were Lance and I were like right up at the front. Granted, it was also at the heat of the day. The sun's beating down on us, and so we were kind of miserable.
That sounds so hard. I
But
don't
we
have the
did
stamina.
enjoy it. Do you remember the band Thursday?
Oh yeah.
So we saw them. They played the entire. They were one of their. They played pretty much the entirety of one of their albums. They played a lot of their big hits and stuff like that. They got some of
Old
their deep
school.
tracks. Yeah, bunch of old guys up there now.
Yeah.
because they were like in their mid-20s whenever they were popular, and that was whenever we were 2002. So it was whenever they started getting big, and they were in their mid-20s then.
I don't know this band.
Yeah, you should give them a listen. They're pretty good.
I'll check it out.
I thought you
enjoy
were going
it.
to say Gooch Liquor was your favorite band.
Yeah. Yeah, Gooch Liquor was my favorite.
Wow.
No,
not
I think
bad.
Greyhaven was one of my favorites. There's another band that we went and saw that we were actually disappointed with because the sound just wasn't good. That's the other thing is like these festivals are great, and I don't know if it was put on by Disco Donnie, who does a lot of they do a lot of festivals like EDM festivals, things like that. In fact, they put on Ubby Dubby that was here a couple months
That's
ago.
how it's said. Every time I've read it, I've never heard it said out loud. I read Ooby Dooby.
I thought it was Ubby Dubby too.
Everyone thinks it's Ooby
Ooby
Dooby.
Dooby sounds so much better.
But once you
does.
go there, it's Ubby Dubby, and the stages are different. Like they have like the Dubby stage, they have the Ubby stage, and they have another.
It makes
Is
me
that
want
the
to
uppy
cringe when
stage?
you say that, though.
No.
Like Ubby Dubby. It sounds like it's a kid's show.
And then they lead a chant that's like
Welcome to
Ubby
Ubby Dubby.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But they put on this thing, and the sound engineers. I don't know if they were just not really. They didn't care, but they were kind of behind. So like you'd have someone singing, and either they were singing too low, and so they had the sound. They had a
Yeah.
compressor going, but they had the sound down too much, and then they would like, oh shit, they're singing, so I need to crank it up a little bit, and so they turned the gain
it's
up.
hard.
And then, but it was like there was such a big delay, and that was the problem. There
What
was
do you mean?
There was a big
Okay,
delay
one
between
more.
the time they would
Damn it.
catch it
Uh-huh.
and crank it up.
Oh, the volume?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so they were
that
just,
comes down to the sound. It's hard. It's hard
Right.
because everybody showing up there is different.
Yeah.
Every band is different. It is so hard to find a good sound man sometimes.
yeah. So I think what it came down to is they just weren't on top of it for certain bands. Some bands sounded really good. Some bands the mix was just off. So I really want to see a few of these bands we saw in like
Yeah.
a more
controlled.
Yeah, more controlled environment.
I'm stoked about the Shack thing coming into
Dude, me
to Fort
too.
Worth in September.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, an EDM thing with Shack headlining?
Yeah.
No
so Shaq's
way.
putting
Yeah.
on his own.
Shack like the
Shack.
Shack? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
So his EDM mixes have gotten better. He goes by DJ Diesel,
That's
and
dope.
dude, he's putting on this big. It's the first Shack, basically his Shack Bass festival, and they're doing it here in Fort Worth
I'm
at
stoked.
Panther Island. That's our opportunity, boys. We're gonna
We
meet
gotta have more.
Shaq. I'm a huge fan of Shaq. I've been wanting to meet him for my entire life. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it happen.
I'm hoping for you.
Yeah. So my next question is, with this heat, what do you keep your thermostat on at the house?
I keep it as cold as my family will let me.
Okay.
But if you want to go into a rant, ERCOT is being like, oh, will you guys like lessen your electricity usage?
Right.
Oh, will you maybe fix the Texas electrical grid?
No
So-
shit. We got the worst grid of all time.
Yeah.
I came across this article, and I don't know if ERCOT put this on or they
No.
found their own scientists to say this, but they say experts warn you against running your AC down while you're sleeping. And
Bullshit.
in fact, they think you should just turn it off altogether while you sleep.
Bullshit.
So there's actually a big issue sometimes with like studies like that, or especially when you're looking at food studies. Remember how like frequently it'd be like, oh, wine and alcohol and chocolate's actually good for you. They'll just fund studies that'll make them look good.
Yeah, so
The chocolate industry is in charge for this.
every study you can find an opposing
Right.
study, right? But it was just I just found this funny. I'm like sitting there in the middle of a heat wave. I come across this article and I'm like, this is why experts say you should turn on your AC. And I'm like, well, these experts are stupid. They
What
don't
was
live
it
in
on?
Texas.
What was the article on?
It was on-
I saw a really interesting article about the most healthy fast food burgers, and it was on gambling.net.
The man himself.
This was on Homes and
Mr.
Garden, so
Aaron.
probably not a reputable news source, right?
Oh, thanks,
yeah,
man.
man.
Appreciate you.
Oh, my man, thank you.
I do get a little bit of the science behind it, right? Because you're circulating pollen and things like that through your house, and it's probably best. I like to sleep with a fan going because I like the white noise.
Oh, dude, the fan actually fucks me up.
Does
Depending
it?
on the fan, if it's like a box fan, it will make me wake up dry mouth,
Same.
like
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Same.
There was a time when I was waking up feeling like I was hungover every day, and I was like, I'm not drinking, but I was waking up.
Maybe
from
that's been my problem
It was
this
the
whole time.
fan on my face.
When I was in Tampa, the hotel we were in was like set at 65. And I was like, well, if they wanted it 65,
I
I'm not
guess
gonna,
if that's what they're
I'm
asking.
not going to touch it. I slept so goddamn hard. And
Yeah.
I never sleep that hard.
I want my bedroom to be a cave, right?
My man, y'all care if I take my clothes off right now?
No, go for it.
Okay.
I want my bedroom to
That's
be a
really
cave.
what the
We
people
welcome
want.
it.
It's what the people want.
We're
All right.
hide my nipples.
Let me in. I'm trying to fuck.
This is This costs extra if
Yeah.
you want to see that.
No showing of nipples here on the Funky
I'm
Panther.
not against it, but hey, would you mind holding this for me, my
You
man?
just
Might have
gotta-
to take
you gotta
your
pay for it.
headphones off too.
I can. Yeah, I'll make it work.
Subscribe to his OnlyFans, ladies and gentlemen.
At Trevor?
So
Hey.
my next thing
I
is
don't know if you can see, but my man here looks like Burt Reynolds.
It is amazing.
That's extra.
We already paid. We already paid.
All right.
And let's show it off. Ready? And go!
2, 3.
Oh!
That is
Beautiful.
very cool, man. I love that. I might have
yeah.
to cop one myself.
I appreciate it. Thank
Damn.
you for having us down in
That
that.
is very nice.
I don't know how many times
It's
I'm
really
gonna shout
soft.
out Eric. He's the fucking man.
Very,
Aaron,
very
Eric-
fucking soft.
He's such a good
You-
man.
you mind
He's
if
a
I
man of
touch?
people.
Please, please.
I was going to. But
Oh
I'm
my
not.
goodness. That is just
That
nice.
is very
Yeah.
soft.
I gotta talk to you. Where you're ordering your merch from?
All right, so my last thing I just want to bring up real quick because I feel like we kind of have to just have a little bit of a conversation about this. It's been all over the news. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, but that Titan submarine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's billionaires with too much money, right?
Yeah.
See, it is a litmus test on whether or not you think you have the ability to be a billionaire.
Dude, I don't have the ability to be a
No,
billionaire.
if you think like it's possible, it's a litmus test. If you feel
Yeah.
bad and you're like, no, I might be a billionaire too. The people that feel really bad about it, and obviously, no human deserves to die.
No.
But if someone's jumping out of a plane, they assess the risk of I'm
Right.
jumping out of a plane, I might die. And here, I can go on this ad nauseum. You put a couple drinks in me, I'll try and spark notes it. What's frustrating for me about it is when a company goes down in America, it is public funds that save them.
Sure.
They preach like, oh, we need to keep free business, free market. And if something's not good, it'll go down. It went down. Who looked for them? The Coast Guard. Who funds
Yeah,
the Coast
right.
Guard and everything? Our dollars.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's what's crazy about that is we have these they have these aqua phones basically
Uh-huh.
all over the place, and it's
Banana phone? Did
Yes.
you say banana phone?
kind of but water.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And what a lot of them are used for is like detection of like early tsunami stuff and things like that. So you can hear the earthquake and be like, oh, there could be like a tsunami that's going to happen because we heard this whatever. Dude, they heard the implosion.
No.
I heard that.
Was that
Yeah.
with the knocking? Because like they were talking about knocking for a bit.
The knocking could just been an anomaly, but they heard whenever. So basically, like there's two systems. There was two systems on the sub, right? There was a communication system, and then it had a tracking, and the tracking system was in its own compressed, like an own compartment. Like it's supposed to survive, right?
right.
Black
And
box.
It blew up, and whenever both those went off, that's how like James Cameron's like, yeah.
I saw the James
knew
Cameron interview, yeah.
Whenever that went off, both of them went off online
Yeah.
at the same time. He's like, yeah, 100%.
No shit.
And so a lot of people are saying, I'm going to get on a little conspiracy here, that this was they sent all this stuff as a ruse, right? Just to kind of distract of what's going on. Like that's why, not the Titan, but like we're going to put a lot of media into this, and we're going to put the extra effort to find these people and whatnot. And get
Instead
this
of those
hope. Yeah.
700, refugees that
Yeah.
boat capsized.
Well,
Yeah.
this is all that anyone's been talking about.
I know,
and like,
100%.
and I only get my news again from you, Tim.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've seen some stuff on TikTok and some memes and stuff out there, but I don't really know the majority of what happened.
But they heard it explode, and
Yeah.
so like people knew, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, it was long gone before."
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So what happened after? So we're looking for these people was all just kind of a bullshit, is what you're saying.
I feel like it is.
It's-
Also,
it's
they're
hard to
billionaires,
tell,
so you
yeah.
gotta look for the billionaires.
Yeah, that's what frustrates me so much. Is like you want me to care. You can't be a billionaire without exploiting somebody, right?
Yeah.
You can't become a billionaire if you're not exploiting workers. Bare minimum. And they're like, you should care. And I'm like, dude, especially talk about the refugees. Like 600 to 700 refugees died.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Coast Guard said, oh well.
But you heard about the stepson of the one billionaire, right?
Inform me. Make sure I'm
he
on
was
the
he
page.
went to Blink-182 concert.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then
Did you see him on Twitter?
Yes, and okay. So this is where it gets funny.
Yeah.
Is that he's like tweeting like, basically Blink-182. Thanks for putting on a show. You made me feel better.
Right.
And then he asked an OnlyFans model to.
Oh, I did see that.
He's like, basically, my stepdad died. Can you sit on my face? Is essentially
Funny
what he
as
tweeted
hell.
out. Yeah, I'm just like, dude. And then he got into like a Twitter beef with I think like
Cardi B.
with Cardi B.
It was Cardi B. Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're killing me.
Shit's crazy.
Well, you know, the other one, the one who went with his kid, like he was one of the ones on that Blue Origin spacecraft.
The one that went with his kid.
Yeah, they went to space too.
The one that went with his kid was freaked out about it because they had said stuff about, because the aunt of the kid came out and said this, right? That there was things that were happening and these, like, they didn't meet the safety stuff, and so the kid was freaked out. But he did it because it was a Father's Day present.
Oh, that's a little
what
sad,
kind
actually.
of Father's Day present?
That
How
I
much
didn't know
money
about
do you have
that.
to have to be like, this is what we're doing for Father's Day?
Billionaire problems, baby.
No.
is
Did you guys
nuts.
see people break down like the percentage of their wealth that was? For the average person, they spent $250,000. Spent $250,000 on this.
Yeah.
For people like us in our tax bracket,
Right.
that's like $20, right? That's me going, oh, maybe I'll get a coffee and sandwich. Like, they spent that much money to do this.
That's bonkers.
To put it in that perspective, like I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, the owner was like, yeah, people put mortgages, like second mortgages on their houses. Like, bro, fuck you. Like, you should have been in that ship alone. You should have imploded by yourself.
But they chose to do it, just
Chortle.
like people decide to jump off and like skydive.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you assess the risk and you chose to put your. I will
Right.
never skydive. People have asked me to skydive, and I go, I value my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to skydive, and I don't know. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, it's just it's bonkers to me, right? It's bonkers to think about that. And the last bit of it is there's videos of him showing, like, they did this basically this tour, and this was just, like, a couple years ago. And he picks up this controller, right? And it's like a Logitech PS3 or PS4 controller that they're using to steer
It's
this
like
thing.
a third-party controller.
It's
yeah.
a third-party
That's
controller.
not real. That's not really
Nah,
what that
very
No,
is.
it 100% is.
Very
so
real.
he was like, the ballast for the sub
Yeah.
was used construction pipe to lift it and lower
Yeah.
it. And then the other thing was this controller, and then they had an emergency button that was like supposed to be like an elevator button. You push this button, it's supposed to go right on up. But this controller, before this ever happened, you could look at someone pulled the screenshots of the reviews on Amazon, and everybody was like, "Yeah, if you want to die in the middle of your video game, this is the controller you get because it
Holy
randomly disconnects."
Have you
and
seen
things
the
like
current reviews for it?
that. No.
Oh, people have been leaving reviews like going, "Oh, this is not good. Like my whole family died in the submarine because of this."
Holy
People
shit.
leaving funny as hell reviews.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
people-
brother-in-law sent
People
it
are
to me.
savages, and
Yeah.
I have empathy for the family, right? Like
For
like
sure,
you lost
absolutely.
somebody, right? But also, I enjoy the memes, and I find it funny to think someone had that kind of money and they did that, and
To Trevor's
and-
point,
and
like
I
they
gotta
made
feel-
that decision.
I gotta
They made
feel
a
bad for them
conscious
now.
decision that they were going to do something that was dangerous.
And people are out here going like, "No, but billionaires are so smart." And I'm like, "What do you mean billionaires are smart? Every billion, like, look at the man who bought Twitter at a loss and is running it into the ground. You want to
Yeah.
talk about billionaires being
speaking of
geniuses?
which, billionaire wants to fight the other billionaire, Mark Zuckerberg, in a cage match.
Dude,
so
that actually might happen.
and if it
I
does
hope it
happen,
does.
we need to get a fight night up here at Down and Out.
yes.
And have it broadcasted on all the TVs, you know.
I will come
Hey,
down
look,
for that. Let me know, boys.
Eric, I will put the money into that just to get that fight night. We will host a party here. It'll
That'd
be
be
great.
so much fun.
I want to watch Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fight it out in a cage.
I have never wanted to watch a fight as bad as I want to watch this. I've never thought, I want to put money down to watch a fight.
Can we have somebody throw weapons into the cage?
I don't, yeah.
Anything's up, right? Anything can happen.
I think anything. We should go back to the old school UFC rules where anything goes.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like sit in a tub with a bottle of wine and just get on Reddit and just like talk shit.
Enjoy the fight, right? All right. So to wrap things up, is there anything that you want to plug before we go? Where can we find Trevor? Where can we find your music? Where can we find anything?
You look up Trevor, TRVR ? And I'm probably the first person you're going to find, TRVR ? I just want to say I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks
If
for coming
anybody
on.
is in Dallas, Fort Worth, August 5th, please come to my show at 3 Links. Check all my websites and things for the information. I really, really appreciate it, everyone.
And Trevor, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We really enjoyed having you here tonight.
We'll make
Also,
sure to
I'm
put that
very,
link.
I'm very sorry for
Almost killing me.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
We'll make sure to put the link for your ticket for August show up on all our show links and stuff like that. So we'll get that from you as well. If you don't already do so, please make sure you follow us on all things social media at the Funky Panther. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you already don't do so. We'd really appreciate it. Really help us out. You can find all of this stuff at the funkypanther.com. And again, thank you to Eric and the whole Down and Out staff for having us here, letting us have the show, filling us full of Funky Panther shandies, and just being a beautiful fucking regular bar for us to come and hang out on the regular. So thank you. Love you so much. Stay good, everybody. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
I'm Tim.
And we are
The Funky Panther. Bye, guys. Y'all stay good.
Adios.
Sister, tell your brother, tell your father, and tell your mother.